Well, it's Wednesday morning. Today we're doing Psalm 55. I'm going to read 1 through 8. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not yourself from my plea for mercy. Attend to me, answer me. I am restless in my complaint, and I moan because of the noise of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. For they drop trouble upon me, and in anger they bear a grudge against me. My heart is in anguish within me. The terrors of death have fallen upon me. Fear and trembling come upon me, and horror overwhelms me. I say, oh, that I had wings like a dove. I would fly away and be at rest. Yes, I would wander far away. I would lodge in the wilderness. I would hurry to find a shelter from the raging wind and tempest. So here David is asking God, pleading with God to hear his prayers and to answer him, to care for him, to attend to him. The enemy and the wicked are oppressing him, and he's afraid. He's really afraid of death. The terrors of death have fallen upon me. Fear and trembling come upon me, and horror overwhelms me. And he says, oh, I'm so scared of dying. I'm so scared of the end. I don't want to die. If I could just be like a dove and fly away and forget all this, I would. This is a very human sort of emotion, this existential dread of death. We're all afraid, finally, of dying. And it's sometimes not so much the fear of dying, or the fear of being dead. It's really the fear of dying. We don't want to be in intense pain. We don't want to suffer, the ravages of cancer, or we don't want to be to die in a fire like all those people in Hawaii. We don't want to be to die in some painful way. We want it to be quick. The people will often say when someone had a heart attack in their sleep and just died, they say, oh, that's how I want to go. I don't want to know it's happening. I just want to, bang, it's done. So I think that's a very human and sort of a universal fear that we have, fear of dying. Fear of death. Some people are terrified of being dead. Other people are more scared of, well, what happens after death? Will I make it, or will I be doomed, or will I be? Is there anything that happens? Do we survive death, or is it just over? Now, if it's just over, maybe Camus was right. There's no point in life, so just do what you can anyway. But for most people, there's a belief in there's some sort of afterlife, even if they're not particularly Christian. A lot of people do believe in some afterlife, and they'll jokingly say, "Well, I'll see you in hell." Which I don't think is how it works. I don't think there's going to be a bunch of folks gathered around, the fire pit or something down there. I really think that what's going to happen is that God is going to be there when we die and welcome us and say, come here, and fold us in his arms and hug us. And I don't think that's something that we should be worried about or scared of. I think we should just look at it as something positive in the future that will happen to us, and that everything will be all right. That's very hard to do. It's hard to do when someone you love is dying. It's hard to keep that in mind when you're faced with somebody that you love passing away, or something like that. So you tend to think, well, I don't want them to die. I don't want anybody to die. Um, but the truth is that all of us die, and so and generally all of us are overwhelmed by this fear of death. Well, we don't have to stay in our houses and not do anything, but the fear of death, flip that around and let it give your life some passion and meaning. Say to yourself, I'm going to live this life while I have it, and I'm going to make it count. I'm going to do something meaningful. I think that's the way that we get over our fear of death. Well, that's cheerful today, isn't it? We'll go ahead tomorrow on the next psalm, and I hope that in the meantime you do have a great day.